let me open up my camera here. The fact that the person that you become, right? We're talking about personal development here, but the person that you become will determine the type of activities that you do. And there is a difference between the six-figure earner and the person that's not a six-figure earner. There's a difference between the person that is a seven-figure earner and the person that is not a seven-figure earner. And a lot of that, let's make sure, Juan, that we get everybody in the waiting room that they come in. Thank you very much. So we want to make sure that we are pushing strong, right? So that's what we're going to talk about here today. This is one of my favorite trainings to do. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we're going to get started. And I think my assistant is working. Oh, cool. She's working on a new slide for me. I'll show it to you guys. It wasn't ready in time, but that's okay. So personal development training is what we're going to get into today, specifically on personal development. Okay. Now, we could go on and on personal development training, but we're not gonna do that here, right? We're gonna keep it simple. I want to knock this out in 45 minutes because there's so much that we could cover. At the end of this, I'm going to recommend some personal development books and audios that I see. I don't subscribe to just listening to personal development one time, or reading a book one time, or listening to a podcast that you got value from one time. That's not just like training, right? Fast start training. That's the first training that you should watch. But at the end of the day, you're not going to get everything from that training by watching it one time. That's impossible. If you are really committed to success, remember this: training is something you do, not something you did. Personal development should be something you do, not something you did once, right? So in any of the trainings, whether it's cold calling, whether it's prospecting, overcoming objections, personal development, you've got to make it a commitment to continue the training. So before we even go any forward, make sure that if you guys are on Instagram, go ahead and follow me at JC Rangel Mindset. You got the Instagram handle down here. I'd greatly appreciate that. And we should all support each other, by the way, and follow each other. We will do a social media training as well soon. And part of the training is this: we have a community here, right? So if as a community, when we're out sharing content, let's like it, let's share it. If you like it, share it, right? If you go out there and like it and comment it, right? So anyways, with that being said, let's go here. Let's see what this slide looks like. All right, so my assistant literally is putting this together as we speak right now, right? So anyways, there's my handle there. Let's get started. So one of my favorite personal development and mentors from afar, Jim Rohn, said, if you want to be wealthy, learn this lesson well. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Skills make labor more valuable. Here's another quote that he said: seldom will your income exceed your personal development. This one hit me hard. Think about this one. Seldom will your income exceed your personal development. And here's the deal: I've experienced this and I've seen this throughout my life where people maybe at certain points, maybe 1 year, right, made a lot of money. And I was even wondering and surprised, to be frank, wow, I can't believe this person is doing as good as they're doing. I didn't know that this person was at that level yet. And eventually the income sinks down to their personal development. They can't maintain it. They can't keep it. They caught lightning on the bottle. Maybe they got lucky. Some people will say they got lucky and things like that, right? And sometimes that is the case. I mean, I know that there's been times that I've gotten lucky, but one thing that I do realize is that your income will hardly ever exceed your personal development. Think of your personal development like a thermostat, right? If I've got my thermostat set to, let's say, 68, right? That's where it's going to be. If I open up the windows, right, the temperature may change, but at the end of the day, because the thermostat is set to 68, eventually it's going to come back down to 68. It's going to turn on and start pumping, right? And start working, and it'll come down. Well, guess what? We all have, for your notes, I would write this down. We all have an income thermostat. Some people, that income thermostat is set to 40,000 a year, 50,000, 80,000, 100,000. Some people's thermostat is set to 200,000. Some people's thermostat is set to $250,000, $500,000, $1 million and beyond. The question that you need to ask yourself is, where is your thermostat set? I guarantee you that your income thermostat will drastically increase if your discipline increases, right? There's a lot of boxes on personal development, right? There's a discipline box, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would write this down, by the way. This is for your notes, by the way. You want to get on here and learn. It's not about just getting on here and listening. So here's a question and by the way, those of you guys that are at work or driving, don't obviously do not write this down. If you're at work and you're just listening in, I don't want you to get in trouble. You could watch the recording. Again, you should watch this recording more than once. You should watch it. Any of these trainings you want to master, you got to watch them no less than 5 times, by the way. So write this down. My discipline thermostat, what is it set to on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being, I don't have any discipline. 5 being, I'm on my way to develop discipline, but no. 10 being, I am extremely disciplined. 9 being, I'm very disciplined. You guys get the picture, right? You want to be at 7 or above. And you got to be honest with yourself. So let me give you some examples of what I'm talking about discipline. At a 10 level disciplined person is somebody that puts their health as a priority. If you're not working out and you're not at least watching what you eat, you're not going to be it's impossible. I don't care if you make $1 million a year, but if your health is terrible and you don't have a discipline to take care of your body, your temple, you're not even close to a 10. You're automatically at below a 7. What time do you wake up? Do you sleep in? Do you hit the snooze button? Level 10 people do not hit the snooze button, ever. Ever. As a matter of fact, they don't even need an alarm clock. Right? When it comes to the business, are you generating no less than 8 points a day? Right? So anyways, discipline, the discipline box, scale of 1 to 10, where are you? The next one is your communication skills. Where would you rate your communication skills? You see, the higher you're starting to rate these, right? Your sales ability, your sales skills. Where are you on your sales skills? What if you're at an 8, 9, or a 10 on all of these? I guarantee you, your income thermostat is going to increase. You'll go from wherever you're at to another 20, 30%. What about your overcoming objections? What about your emotional intelligence, meaning you get 5 no's in a row and you still have a great attitude for the next appointment, for the 6th appointment? Your emotional intelligence. You get a deal that cancels. Are you the one that's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe a deal canceled. I can't believe I dropped the ball, or I can't believe the installer dropped the ball, or I can't believe the customer dropped the ball. And you're dwelling and dwelling and dwelling. That means that your emotional intelligence is at a very low level. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to make, I want you to type a number, 100K, 100K in the chat if your goal is indeed to make 100K or more in this business. Don't write it if it's not a goal. That's okay. If it's not a goal of 100K or more, then don't write it. That's fine. Not going to eat your lunch for it. That's okay. 100K or more, right? So it could be $250,000, $1 million, whatever the case may be. It's 100K or more. Okay, great. So check this out. You want to make $100,000 per year plus? Let me tell you something. You got to make sure that you have a strong discipline, sales ability, but just as much emotional intelligence. You will get people that quit. You will get people that disappoint you because they quit, because they cancel, because they lie to you. Your customers will lie to you. Your customers will say, yep, Friday we're going solar. Yep, we will show up to that appointment. And they don't show up. You will get people say, I'm going to join the business. And they don't join the business. Question is, how do you handle situations like that? Now, the better that you handle situations like that in business, not just our business, just business in general, the better you are at handling those issues, the better you will be in business. Let me ask you this question. What on a scale of 1 to 10 is your level of focus and consistency? Are you the idea of the week or idea of the month guy or girl? I'm doing this, but I'm going to try this. I haven't given it enough time to be successful, but I'm going to try something else. Then I haven't given that enough time to be successful, and I'm going to try something else, and so on and so forth. Listen, 100K per year plus earners. Pick one or two lanes. They stay in those one or two lanes consistently and persistently until they see it bear fruit. Focus is an acronym, by the way. They have focus, and let me tell you what the focus acronym stands for. Follow one course until successful. Six-figure plus earners know how to focus. I recommend you guys study the bamboo tree. I recommend you guys study the bamboo tree. The bamboo tree goes years without growing. And by the way, I wanted to share a video with you guys. I'm going to pull it up. But study the bamboo tree, because a bamboo tree, ladies and gentlemen, is a tree. And I did stop sharing my screen on purpose, so I'll share it back again. But here's the deal. It takes a consistency over and over. You don't see a bamboo tree grow for years. For years, you don't see a bamboo tree grow. And then eventually it blows up. It grows like crazy over the course of a year. I don't know how many feet tall, but a tremendous amount. And here's the thing. When it comes to being successful, that consistency over time, and it takes discipline to be consistent. By the way, if you ask me off the top of my head, what is the most important quality to be successful? I would answer without a shadow of a doubt, discipline. Discipline trumps everything. Discipline and mindset. Actually, it comes down to mindset first. Mindset comes before discipline, because if you have the right mindset, you'll develop the discipline. If you have the mindset and the discipline, it doesn't matter if you don't have the skills. Guess what happens? You'll develop the skills. You'll find the skills. You'll find the how-tos. And that discipline, continued over time, guess what it does? It starts to create momentum. And life is all about momentum. Let me share this with you. I want you guys to pay attention to this video. It's called 212 Degrees. Let me stop sharing, because I need to share the audio as well. 1 second here. Share sound. Yes. Okay. There we go. Hey, listen to this video. It's only like almost 3 minutes long.
Are you ready to see your brand on TV? Your competitors will wish they had known about Vibe. With Vibe, you can
Sorry, guys, I didn't even realize I was on mute. My bad. Okay, so I want my business to be booming. 212 degrees, right? That is 212 degrees is where I am in momentum, where my business is booming. And it doesn't matter who's coming in and who's going out, because there's always going to be people that are coming in and going out, whether it's customers or people on my team. That's irrelevant. I am, because you hear me talk about this all the time, my identity. I'm going to give you guys a bunch of audios afterwards for you guys to listen to, especially during this break, right? Most people are going to have some time off during that time. Work on your personal development. Today is all about personal development, right? The other thing is this, the inner game. What are you constantly saying to yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? How positive are you? Write this down. I've got to start thinking about what I'm thinking about. I've got to start thinking about what I'm thinking about, because winners think about what they're thinking about. I'm going to talk a little bit later about the unconscious incompetence. You guys have heard me say this before, but you haven't mastered it yet. That's why it's super important that you continuously get trained. You'll get it better. Some of you guys have heard about unconscious incompetence and conscious competence, etc., are going to get it better today than you did the first time that you heard it. So you got to get to the point of unconscious competence where your thoughts are aligned with your actions and with your words, meaning most people's self-talk is negative. The question is, how is your self-talk on a scale of 1 to 10? Is it positive? Is it negative? Are you your own biggest bully? Some of you guys are your own biggest bully and you don't even know it. You unconsciously bully yourself, tell yourself that you're not good enough, or doubt yourself. Remember this, you've got to believe bigger, faster. Some of you guys are going to pay attention to what I'm going to say. You're just going to believe big and you're going to take big actions. And because of that, a year from now, you're going to say, wow, I accomplished so much more than I thought I was going to accomplish just because I believed bigger. That big belief created big actions. Those actions created big results. That's the BAR, BAR, belief, action, results. Then guess what? When you get the results, what does it build? It builds your belief. First, you write this down. First, you manufacture the belief. You have the belief because I'm telling you to believe bigger, faster, because I did this before. Then that big belief by goal setting, right? That big belief created my goal setting. I'm going to talk about goal setting today. Made me take big actions. Those actions made me get results. Those results make me believe more. Oh my goodness, this actually worked. Then it got me excited. So when you combine that belief with excitement and conviction, guess what happens? Now you go and create more actions, which create more results, which create more belief. And guess what, my friend? You are now in momentum. And momentum, for your notes, hardest thing to get is momentum. It is the easiest thing to lose. Let's keep going. Question is, who have you been listening to? Do they have the results that you seek? Do they live the life that you desire? And would you trade places with them? Even financially, even if it was just financially. Of course, you wouldn't trade places with them. You've got family members that you love. What I'm referring to is, would you trade places with them as far as the restaurants they visit, the cars they drive, the homes they live in? Is there really that big of a difference? Most people are not where they want to be because of who they've been listening to. Think about it. From your parents to your teachers to your bosses to your coworkers to your friends, family. I say this all the time. I'll say it again. Your friends and family will be cleverly disguised. Dream stealers are cleverly disguised as friends and family. You have to decide in personal development journey, who is my mentor? Write that down. Who is my mentor? I'm going to give you a moment because that's so important for you to write down. Who is my mentor? And you have to make a decision that you're going to listen to the person that is your mentor. You have to listen to the person that you decide that is your mentor. Who are you going to listen to? Look for somebody that has a lifestyle that you want, the business that you want, and it could be more than one person, by the way, and make a decision that is who you're going to listen to. And then the next layer of that is that you are going to be extremely coachable about. I'm going to listen to this person and I'm going to be extremely, keyword, extremely coachable. Ladies and gentlemen, I was in network marketing from the year 2001. And it wasn't until 2009 that I decided, because a mentor told me, who have you been listening to, JC? I had never made six figures. And he was the owner of the company. And he says to me, I will personally mentor you, but you've got to be extremely coachable because you have the results that you have right now because of who you've been listening to. And if you're coachable, I'm willing to coach you. And you could achieve so much more. I made a goal to make $100,000 by month 18. $100,000 that month, not total, but that particular month, 100 grand. And I didn't hit the goal, but I made 84,000 on month 18. Excuse me. The goal was, it wasn't 18 months. The goal was sooner, like in a year. But I didn't hit my goal. But by month 18, I made 84,000. I believe bigger, faster. I picked a mentor and I decided to be extremely coachable. Let's keep going. Where do most people end up? They did a study. College graduates. Out of college graduates, they followed them to the age of 65. Here's what the results came with. 1% of the college graduates were wealthy, 4% financially stable. That means they didn't need anybody to take care of them. They were fine. 5% were still working, 28% were dead, and 62% were dead broke. We're talking about college graduates, ladies and gentlemen. When I saw this almost 20 years ago, probably 20 years ago, it was staggering to me. I said, everybody's been taught to go to school, get good grades, get a college education and whatnot. And this is what percentage ended up wealthy? Financially stable, just 4%. So 5% ended up okay. The rest of them did not end up okay. And he told me entrepreneurship is the answer. Sales is the highest paid profession in the world. Entrepreneurship, network marketing specifically, has created more millionaires than any other industry in the world, by the way. So let's talk about personal development. Don't major in minors. People that have a high personal development, high producing, high performing individuals major in majors. They don't major in minors. Have you ever met a busy broke person? I have. People that are very busy, but they're not very productive. They don't make enough money. You know why? Because most people major in minors. So majors, right? The things that you focus on, right? So for example, majoring in majors is this: door knocking, warm market, calling your warm market, cold calling. I don't know if you guys know, but we division where you could buy real estate agent leads that said, hey, I'm interested, email me information and have somebody call me. They're already expressed interest. And you literally could call these people. You literally could call these people and talk to them about the business. Buying leads, following up with clients, setting up appointments, networking events, 5Ms. More meetings mean more money, right? These are majoring and majors. Big earners major in majors. Small earners and the majority of people major in minors. What do they major in? Social media scrolling, designing a business card, maybe, gossiping, focusing on things that went wrong instead of things that went right, or things that could go right, or instead of focusing on what went wrong, what could we have done for this to go right, or how can we fix this? Major. I know people, ladies and gentlemen, that have a lot of skills, but their personal development isn't there, their mindset isn't there. They major in minors, and therefore they're stuck at an income level that they don't want to be at. I'm like, bro, you keep majoring in minor things. Your focus needs to shift. So make that a philosophy. I'm gonna major in majors. Let's keep going. Because here's how it comes down. Be, do, have. The way to success is this. This is a method to success. Most people have it backwards, literally backwards. Be, do, have. Have you ever heard somebody say, hey, JC, hey, Jessica, hey, Michael, hey, Amelia, Erica, I have to first see in order to what? I want you guys to put it in the chat. I have to first see, let's see if we all are familiar with this. I need to first see in order to what? Believe. Exactly. I've got to see in order to believe. Let me tell you something. If you read the top 5 books on how to become a millionaire, I guarantee you none of them say that. Matter of fact, they say the opposite. Belief comes first. I have to first believe in order to see. So here's how it goes. First, you got to be. I talk about this very often. Who am I? And what is important to me? So, what does that verse look like that's making that income that you want to make? Whether it's 100,000, 200,000, a million, whatever the case may be. How do they dress? What time do they wake up? Are they sharp? Are they on point? Do they know their stuff? Are they disciplined? You got to be that person now. You gotta take away the myth. I want you to write this down. This is a myth. Change takes time. That's a myth, guys. It is not true. Here's another myth. Good things come to those who wait. That's a myth. Nothing good is going to come to you. Life gives us what we deserve and what we fight for. Somewhere down the line, you know how that quote actually goes? Good things come to those who wait, but only what's left over from those who hustle. That's the original quote. Here's another myth. Knowledge is power. Bull. That's a myth. Knowledge is not power. Here's a real one. Applied knowledge is power. What good is knowing how to get a 6-pack and I'm eating donuts? I got the knowledge. Cut the carbs and the sugar, bro. Burn more calories daily than you consume and do 500 abs a day. I know how to get a 6-pack. I don't have a 6-pack. Is it because I don't have the knowledge? No. I've got the knowledge. It is the application of the knowledge that has a power. So you got to remove the myth that change takes time. Some of you guys haven't changed because you bought into the idea that change takes time. And I'm telling you, it doesn't, dude. Change takes a decision. That is a golden nugget. Change takes a decision. You have to decide to become that person worthy of that income, worthy of that success, worthy of that rank today. Now, so that's the B. Because if you actually become the person that has a discipline, that wakes up early, that generates their 8 points minimum daily, that connects to everything, that gets outside of their comfort zone, that person will do the necessary actions that it takes to win. And by doing those necessary actions, guess what happens? You will then have the results. It's kind of like the bar. Believe, B is become the person. Also believe big. Do is the actions. Have is the results. We talked about this earlier. Then when you have the results, guess what happens? Your belief grows, your being grows, your identity grows. And that identity, now you become the person like, dude, it was hard to do these things. It is not hard anymore. I used to have a hard time calling 15, 20 realtors a day. Now I get it done by 10 a.m. So big. Not only that, I used to get a lot of rejection. I don't get a lot of rejection, number one, because I'm more confident because of the person I've become. Number two, I've become better. My skills have increased. And number three, I know that I'm also attracting positivity more than negativity, because as you grow in your personal development, you realize that you attract to yourself by your actions, by your beliefs, by your fears. What you fear the most starts to come to pass. What you think about the most starts to come to pass. They say what you think about and think about, you bring about. What you think about and think about, you bring about. So you got to be the person, do the things, and then only then will you have the stuff. But here's what the average person does. Here's what they say. Well, you know what, JC, if I had your position, I would have that, I would be that disciplined. And then I would do the stuff because I had the stuff. I believe, bro. If I had your skills, if I had your experience, bro, I mean, I'd be motivated. I'd show up early. I wouldn't never miss a meeting and I would do the stuff. Here's what I tell them, dude, 2020, I didn't know what an inverter was. In 2020, I already knew I was a guy. I showed you guys a video. I showed you on multiple occasions when I wrote in 2020, I'll be the #1 mentor in this company by this time next year. Guaranteed. I got plenty of videos. Go through my Facebook, you'll see them. Even my Instagram. I said, I will dominate this solar space. 3 years later, 2,100 installs. Because I didn't need to have the experience or have the skills in that place, but I had the skills to believe bigger, faster. And I had the discipline to make up in numbers what I lacked in skill. Write that down. Make up in numbers what you lack in skill. I said, I'm going to attend more trainings than everybody else. I'm going to pay more attention than everybody else. And I'm going to go out there and apply the stuff more than everybody else. I'm going to talk to more doggone people. When I recruit people, I'm going to recruit them and I'm going to be more so they're going to believe, even if they don't join me, they're going to believe me that I'm going to the top and they're going to believe me that this is the right industry to be a part of, even if they don't join. But because they're going to believe me, I will recruit more people. Then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to train them. I asked the people in that company, is there any weekly trainings that my people can plug in? Here's what they told me, to my surprise. No, there isn't. There's no weekly training that people could plug into. No, we announce trainings here and there a couple times a month, but there's nothing set in stone. I said, well, that's got to change. Guess what I did? I created the Monday morning training, 10 a.m., 2020. I didn't know anything about solar, but guess what I was teaching? I was teaching sales skills. I was teaching personal development. I was teaching how to recruit. And then on the solar side, I would bring people on board to come and train on the solar side. Because I was recruiting a business. I didn't know about solar. So I recruited, or I didn't recruit, but I brought in some of the people that were in that company that were experts in solar to teach the solar. And I taught the personal development, the mindset, the recruiting, the sales skills. Because guess what? I am that doggone person, man. Because I made a decision one day in 2008. No, about 2009, I made a decision. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. This doesn't take time. Change takes a decision. I had to hear that hundreds of times. Then I said, you know what? I'm going to just believe it. Doggone, I'm going to just believe it. Then I believed it and I realized, oh, snap. This is like real. This is like true. Right? So let's keep going. Because here's how it breaks down. Here's 100% of the people. 27% of the population is not motivated. I don't deal with 27 percenters. If I sniff a 27 percenter, I immediately don't spend any time with them. These are pessimistic, negative people. Negative people tend to have a negative bank account as well. 60 percenters, obviously the biggest percentage, are motivatable. I know that's not a word, but it is today. You guys understand. They can be motivated. They see this, they get excited. JC, I'm so excited. I've made a decision. I'm going to go to the top. Then they get a rejection or two, and they lose that motivation. They're on a roller coaster of emotions. You could call it the solar coaster if you're selling solar, right? So they're on a roller coaster of emotions. And then you got the 10 percenters are self-motivated. These are the people, they're going to get on, they're going to be on the trainings, they're going to be building the business. The majority of you are 60 percenters, just by percentages, right? 60% of you guys are 60% are motivatable. You could be motivated. Sometimes you're motivated, sometimes you're not. I mean, let's be honest. Who here sometimes feels motivated and sometimes feels defeated? Let's be honest. Let's be vulnerable here, because I have felt that way before as well. And even in my life, sometimes I don't feel defeated, but at times I feel like, oh man, but I don't feel defeated like I used to. This is normal, guys. So here's the deal. It's not that self-motivated people or motivators don't feel that. Is that we don't feel that for long. We might feel that for a second, for a minute, maximum a day, then it's gone. It's reset time. Self-motivated people, and especially motivators, pay attention closely, pre-play their future success and wins. Everybody else replays their past failures and setbacks. That is a golden nugget I just gave you. 3%ers are motivators. They pre-play. What does that mean? They think about what's coming. They think about their future success, their future wins. They celebrate it. They pre-play their future success and wins. They get excited about it like a kid that would daydream. Man, you got, imagine you're 13, 14, 15 years old in school. You used to daydream a lot. And you didn't daydream about playing games. You daydream about girls, right? Here's the deal. Here's the deal. The 3%ers daydream like that still about their goals, about their ambitions. They get excited ahead of time. And then guess what? They take the proper actions on a daily basis. And they know, dude, it's just a matter of time. If I keep doing this, it's just a matter of time before I'm driving that car. If I keep doing this, it's just a matter of time before I retire my mom. It's just a matter of time before I send my kids to a private school. So if you're a 60%er, which most people are, right? Statistically speaking, you got to go to permanent 10% bracket. 27%ers are not on here, by the way. 27%ers would not be on here. They wouldn't even be in the business. So thankfully, there's no 27%ers here. So 60%ers, you got to work to get into the 10% bracket. Self-motivated. That means I got the trainings on my phone, on a calendar, on repeat. I'm on trainings no matter what. If it's a training that I heard before, doesn't matter, I'm going to get on it. It's a training that doesn't sound too interesting, doesn't matter, I'm going to get on it. Because if there's one nugget, I'm going to dedicate those 4 hours a week to this business of personal development. And then the rest of the time, I'm prospecting, I'm selling, etc. If you're a 10%er, you should have a goal to go to the 3% bracket. These are the motivators. These are the people that not only can you count on them without a shadow of a doubt to show up, to prospect, to build their business, to generate 16, 17, 20, 30 points a day beyond. But they get others to do it. Who are the others? Their team members, their customers. The motivators get their customers to get motivated to buy. I just texted the guy yesterday on Saturday. Hey, Victor, how's it going? Just wanted to circle back with you, and I haven't heard from you. I want to know, did you give up on going solar, or are you still interested? He says to me, JC, I'm sorry, I didn't answer your phone call. I'm at Lowe's shopping for some stuff. As you can imagine, it's hectic here. I am still interested, and I need to talk to my wife so we could have another meeting with you. I said, that sounds good. And by the way, good luck shopping these days, LOL. Let me know. I'm willing to meet with you guys in person or via Zoom, whatever's best for you. It is motivators get people into action. They get people to do things they wouldn't otherwise do had it not been for them. Guess what? That's also the definition of a leader. Motivators and leaders get people to do things they otherwise wouldn't have done had it not been for that person. And very often you get people to do those things by your example. By your example. Let's keep going. So how can you avoid the attitude roller coaster? Don't let your lows get too low and don't let your highs get too high. Don't let your lows get too low and don't let your highs get too high. The next one, remember that people won't follow people that can't control their emotions. That is such a golden nugget. People that can't control their emotion are not the most attractive people. You've got to be able to control your emotions. You will have a roller coaster ride in your business. You'll have deals that cancel, but guess what? You'll also have deals that sell, that install. You could have water customers that are going to be raving about the water and send you referrals. You're going to have solar customers that are going to be raving about it. You're going to have Smart Money Club customers that are going to be raving about it. You're going to have people that are building a business, and it's going to be amazing. But guess what? You got to take the good with the bad. And you're going to have a lot more defeats than you will successes. That's just how life works. Also, you want to have long-term vision and goals. Manage your expectations. That's what I'm doing now. You're going to have losses. That's a part of the game. Maintain your composure. If you don't have guests, you need the meeting. If you have guests, the meeting needs you. Positives go up, negatives go down. In this business, positives go up, negatives go down. What does that mean? You got something negative that happened, you never, ever, ever go on a group and share it in the group. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this happened. No, 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 dude. That is such low frequency. That is such lack of leadership. Go to your leadership and talk about, hey, how do we handle this situation? But it should never, under no circumstances, go to your downline, go to your sideline, no. Handle it with leadership. Now, positive things go everywhere. Everywhere. I don't care if we're talking about corporate America. I don't care if we're talking about a church. Imagine in a church, for example, that organization with a lot of people usually, right? Imagine that there's a couple that's having marital issues, and they go in the middle of church service, express it to everybody. Would that be a good idea? Of course not. They'd go to the pastor or whoever the person in charge is, right? And have those kind of conversations. This is just basic leadership, ladies and gentlemen. Positives go up, negatives go down. Now, in times of victory, be grateful. In times of defeat, you will have defeats. But guess what? That is how success is built. Success is built one defeat at a time. Then eventually you're like, loss, win. Loss, win. Win. Then win, loss. Same thing with your checks. I tell people, look, write this down for your notes. You got to be willing to work without pay in order to get paid without work. It's one of my favorite ones, man. Woo! And boy, have I experienced that. And it's but I've experienced a lot more for a long time, the opposite. You've got to be willing to work without pay in order to get paid without work. Yes, sometimes you're going to go prospecting, not find anybody. If you think of it like a transactional employee mindset, oh, I put in 4 hours of work today at this networking event, at door knocking, I didn't make any money. You have a broke mindset. You have a 27% mindset. It's not how it works in sales and in business. But then you go again and you go again. And eventually, oh, I got a deal closed. Oh, my team is growing. Oh, my team is selling. Now I got mentors on my team. You got to have a long-term vision. See, look at number 3. You got to have long-term vision and goals. Why do you think about this, connect the dots here, ladies and gentlemen. Why do you think I always talk about 5 years to make life fair? If I tell you 6 months or a year, that's not enough time to be successful in this business or any business. I don't care if you open up a hamburger stand or a donut shop or an insurance agency, you aren't going to achieve those big levels of success for a couple of years, 3 to 5 years. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of you guys are going to go your first year, knock it out the park. But you want to be realistic. You got to give it a solid 5 years, regardless of what business you're in. So that long-term vision is extremely important. Okay, let's keep going. So here we go. Unconsciously skilled. I know it as unconscious incompetence. That's what you don't know what you don't know. Okay. The next level, for example, let's talk about your sales abilities, your personal development, your prospecting, overcoming objections, your knowledge of the solar, the water, the security, the business, right? When you're brand new, you don't know what you don't know. What's an inverter? What does an inverter do? You didn't even know you didn't even know inverter was a thing. Unconscious incompetence. Then you learn, oh, solar has an inverter. Oh, I know what reverse osmosis is with the water. Now you are consciously unskilled. Now you are conscious of what you don't know. It's also known as conscious incompetence. Conscious incompetence. It's like, wow, I didn't even know this was a thing. Now I know what I'm not aware of. The next phase is consciously skilled or conscious competent. That's when you know how to do something through conscious involvement. Hey, I know about solar. Yeah, let me explain to you. I got to use a presentation because I forget some of these things, but let me read and I can elaborate a little bit on these things. Yes, I know how to prospect people, but I got to think about it. When they give me objections, I don't know them right away. Got to think about it. I stumble through my words a little bit, but I know I'm consciously skilled. Then you get to the fourth level, unconsciously skilled, also known as unconscious competence. Oh, forget about it. This is where, when you know how to do something through unconscious habit, where you know how to do it, you don't got to think about it. Somebody gives you an objection. JC, this is a pyramid, ain't it? You know, it's interesting you say that. As a matter of fact, it is. And I got a spot at the top. Do you want it? He laughs. Oh, because I threw him off. He did not expect me to say something like that. I said, look, bro, in all seriousness, here's a bottom line, man. This is a direct sales brokerage. You can make a six-figure income plus. You can make $1 million a year, bro, without ever recruiting a soul. I mean, but this is as much of a pyramid as a real estate broker at 21 is a pyramid. You have the option to build a team if you want. Is this something that you're interested in, bro, or are you very closed off? And notice a posture, because I'm unconsciously skilled. Not only that, I'm also unconsciously skilled at my confidence. My confidence can't be shaken. Here's a problem. Anybody could get to unconsciously skilled in this business. The problem, most people are not willing to give it the necessary time and to dedicate the necessary time and money to get there. Bottom line, but write this down. Anybody could get to unconscious competence. Anybody can. Nobody is not good enough to get there. There's no such thing. Imagine getting to unconscious competence with your confidence, with your sales ability, with your networking skills, your selling skills, your public speaking skills, your leadership skills. All you guys realize that all of that is taught here. How many years does somebody go to a university on average? 4 to 12 years. They pay $250,000 to $300,000 to get into debt to get a diploma that over 80% of people don't even use a diploma that they paid $250,000 to get in the first place. They get a job, something completely unrelated. These are the facts, by the way. My point is, if somebody's willing to invest that kind of time and money, why wouldn't you do that to learn how to build a business and be an entrepreneur and a sales professional? Sales is the highest paid skill in the world, the highest paid profession in the world. And we happen to sell the highest paid things in sales. So I hope you guys are getting this, because this is extremely important that you guys understand. So let's keep going. So here's how it breaks down. This is Jim Rohn 101. Everybody wants to look at their lifestyle results. Oh, I don't have what I want because of this. And then they go back and maybe they look at their actions. But then what created the actions? The attitude. You got to work backwards. What created the attitude? The philosophy. Ladies and gentlemen, here's another bombshell. This is such a golden nugget I'm going to give you. Pay close attention. You have certain philosophies that govern your life, whether you know it or not. Your philosophies create your attitude. I'm going to get into some of those philosophies. Your attitude creates the actions you take. Those actions create the results that you get. The result equals your lifestyle. But it all starts with your philosophies. I'm going to give you some philosophies, by the way. Let me just check okay, good. My computer is good to go. Why don't I check the battery on my computer? All right, so let's keep going with this. Let me give you some philosophies. I want you guys to participate here. I want you to put some philosophies in the chat that are a broke person's philosophies. If you had to think of philosophies that are broke, I'll start it off, for example. Here's one. Tell me, put a number 1 in the chat if you have heard this before. Money doesn't buy happiness. I want you to put a number 1 in the chat if you ever heard that before. Okay, good. That's a broke person philosophy, because here's the deal. Money doesn't buy happiness. I agree. But you know what happens when somebody says and repeats that? They are creating a negative relationship with money unconsciously. Your subconscious mind, you're telling it that money is negative to a certain degree, and you are justifying why you will not have that money. Your subconscious mind, write this down, and this is in the Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. You should listen to that 5 times before the end of the year. Listen to me closely, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, dude, just freaking believe me. Just believe me. Your mind is the most fertile ground, more fertile than any ground in the world. If I get fertile ground and I plant I don't know if you plant avocados, right? But let's say I plant avocados or I plant an apple tree or an orange tree. Guess what it's going to give me? An orange tree or an apple tree or whatever the case may be, right? An avocado tree. Your mind is more fertile than the most fertile ground. So what you tell it, things like money doesn't buy happiness. Give me some broke people philosophies in the chat, by the way. Those of you guys, if you can think of any, put them in the chat. Money doesn't buy happiness. Your subconscious mind is going to go to work and start thinking of, oh, so we're saying money's a bad thing, right? Okay, cool. Then you will start to repel money. Right? Thank God it's Friday. Exactly. Oh, thank God it's Friday. What are you subconsciously telling yourself? Remember, you got to get to unconscious competence. Right now, some of you guys are getting to the second level. Conscious incompetence. You are becoming conscious of the mistakes you're making. Thank God it's Friday. You're telling your subconscious mind that the rest of the week sucks. Oh, not another Monday. I hate Mondays. Thank God it's Friday. Or even, oh, hump day, Wednesday. What are you saying? Getting through the week. Life is hard. My job is hard, or my job sucks. I'm telling you, I look forward to Mondays. Thank God it's Monday. Thank God it's Friday. Because guess what? I got 6 Saturdays and 1 Sunday. That's my life. How many of you guys want to have 6 Saturdays and 1 Sunday? Put a number 1 in the chat if you want to have 6 Saturdays and 1 Sunday. Straight up. You know that you could do that with the right business. If you build your business, you could have 6. Here's the deal. But my Saturdays, that means I could do whatever I want. I could relax on Netflix and chill with my wife all doggone day if I want. I don't have to go to work. That's my point. See, I love what I do, though. I love this business. This is not work. This is fun. Check this out. I'm going to share something with you. One of the things that I learned a long time ago in personal development is this. Let me check what time it is, by the way. Hold on. One thing that I learned in personal development a long time ago was this. We are the happiest when we are building. When you are building something, whether you're building a piece of furniture from IKEA or you're building something or you're drawing, so I like to draw. You start to, it's exciting to see it come together. I love to see a business come together. I love to build people and I see, wow, look at this person. I can see their growth. I can see their confidence. I can see their consistency and their discipline growing. I build people. So your philosophies, so let's go back to some other philosophies, right? Money is the root of all evil. That's not true. The good book says that the love of money is the root of all evil. Money itself is neutral. What if you want to become a millionaire to donate 50%, 90% of your money? Does that mean that money's still evil? No. Right? Here's some champion philosophies. In order to win, I must double my rate of failure. It's not over until I win. It's not over until I win. That is a champion's philosophy. A lot of these success quotes you need to adopt as philosophies, not just as quotes. So your philosophies create your actions, which create your attitude, create your results, and your lifestyle. Okay. So this is the slight edge. We're going to go through this stuff fast. Talk about this all the time. Guy on the top. The guy on the top is taking responsibility and discipline. The guy on the bottom is blame and neglect. I'm going to get on training today. The other guy says, I'll watch the recording. They never watch it. I'm going to eat healthy today. The other guy says, I'm going to eat whatever I want. You can't tell the difference day one. But the consistent attitude repeated over and over an extended period of time, eventually 5 years from now, the guy on top, guy A, let's call him, is an executive or a national director with the business, is confident, is in shape, is healthy, because he or she decided to be disciplined. The other guy decided to neglect, to be undisciplined. 5 years from now, that person is 5 years older, more in debt, more mental blocks. Now that They chose to be comfortable early on. Now they're a lot more uncomfortable. The other guy or girl is comfortable. Guess what? They got a booming business. They got investments. They got time freedom. This is the way the slide edge works. And one day I'm going to do a training specifically on the slide edge. This is one of the ones I'm going to recommend to you guys. Let's go to some goal setting. I'm going to hit this January strong. So here I'm going to just glance through SMART goal setting. SMART is an acronym. You got to be specific. Got to be specific with your goal. Vague goal is I will get rich. Smart goal is I will make $20,000 a month by, and even smarter is I am so happy. And you write it down like this. I am so happy and grateful now that I'm making $20,000 a month by this date. I will commit myself to 3 one-on-ones per day and 1 home presentation per week, a launch event. They got to be measurable. That means that you can assess the progress. Goals which cannot be measured cannot be managed. Your goal is measurable if anyone can tell at the end of the deadline whether or not you completed your goal. They also got to be attainable. Don't make them too unrealistic, but don't make them too easy. They got to make you stretch. The next one is they got to be relevant. Goals need to be parallel to your purpose in life. Relevant goals are a sure way to direct your efforts towards attaining something that is concentrated to who you are as a person. And then lastly, time sensitive. You got to have deadlines on your goals, bottom line. You got to have deadlines on your goal. So here's a couple of reasons why goals fail. And by the way, the Spanish training is going to start here shortly, so I'm going to wrap this up. So again, I'm going to do a goal setting training in January. This is the last slide. I want you to take a screenshot of this. These are audios and videos on personal development that you should watch 5 times each. 5 times each. And I recommend that you do this before the end of the month. I want you to go on a personal development journey between now and then. You're going to have some free time. The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. Just Do It by A.L. Williams. I'm going to share all of these in the WhatsApp group and on the Facebook group, by the way. Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. The Slide Edge by Jeff Olson. I talked about the Slide Edge earlier. And then Never Take Advice from Anybody More Screwed Up Than You Are by John Addison. And then finally, Every Millionaire Mentor Zoom that happens every single Monday. Ladies and gentlemen, trust me when I tell you, by the time you watch and listen to all of these audios, you actually listen to them 5 times. I'm not saying that you're multitasking when you're listening. No. You got to actually listen to them 5 times. I guarantee you your personal development will be at a whole nother level. A whole nother level. I'm telling you, dude, you got to just believe. Anyways, I hope you guys got value from today's training. We have to wrap it up because the Spanish training is getting started. Mr. Victor is going to be doing today's training. He's an absolutely stud of a trainer and one of the top Spanish mentors in the company. So he's going to be doing a Spanish training here. So anyways, I appreciate everybody. I will see you guys today. Remember, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, business overview tonight. And at 6 o'clock is a Spanish one right after. So let's make sure we promote big. We show up. We got our cameras on. Let's promote. Let's get our guests and our team on today's business presentation. Let's take this information that we learned today and actually apply it to our business. Have a good day, everybody.
Recording stopped.
Great job, JC.
Thank you, brother.